Oh, right. We forgot about the gifts. So,
Oh yeah, you just see Miku there.
Yeah. Gray brought me this Miku doll.
Drink some water.
It's cute. Wait. The Miku's on your screen. I can't move it.
Oh, you can't move it. Whoops.
Move that Miku
you're...
down. Put the Miku down like over.
Put the
Put her
window.
over here.
Okay.
But I can move this one. Now I'm not sure what this is. It's metal. Tink tink metal. Oh, I know. This is a hat. This is a hat.
We love hats.
Penny brought me a hat. Now I have a hat.
I gotta make a new 3D Bell hat. So you can
Oh,
keep
you
my
gotta
old
get
Bell
3D
hat.
Bell. I bet it'd be pretty easy to find a 3D Bell.
Probably.
All
I
right.
just have it.
Well, welcome everybody to Carvy's Twigs Bird of the Day. We got a great bird today. We got a bird that is like, I think it's like a hybrid of some sort, because it's like one type of bird, and then also it's a thing that Charlie Brown gets stuck in a tree. So today's bird of the day is the swallow-tailed. Why does it say hawk? It's supposed to say kite.
Oops.
It's supposed to say kite. This is
It
not
got a
hawk,
little
it's a
lizard.
kite.
Pretty close.
I apologize, everybody. This is supposed to be.
I saw it ahead of time and I didn't notice.
What do I do? What do I do? Okay. We do this. We go there. There we go.
Right. There we go.
There we go.
Fixed it.
Yeah, there we go. The swallow-tailed kite. I had it right the entire time. See? I know what you're talking about. It's kite. It's kite. How did I screw that up? Well, how did I screw that up? Well, it turns out kites and hawks are actually very closely related. We're going to move on to the next page, and I'll tell you why. Because they are part of the order Accipitriformes, which includes hawks, eagles, and kites. And these guys are kites. But wow, look at these guys. The swallow-tailed. We can see why they're called the swallow-tailed. And Pina, you said that you've seen these kind of hanging around where you live?
Sadly,
Yeah,
I don't have the video.
We only saw them for a little bit, but there were a lot. There were a lot. I don't know why this was the first time we saw them, but it was really cool. It was just like a really, really big bird, and they swooped down really, really close. Like they got maybe 10 feet away.
That's really cool. That close. It's amazing.
I mean, we were just chilling on our porch, and they swooped right above our heads, and like just above the little tin roof.
Well, they are known for eating small animals, so maybe Peanut, they were trying to eat you.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
There was a lot of crickets flying up out of that hayfield. And they would just whoop, take them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as you can see here, they have quite a range. They tend to stay on southeast United States, kind of near the coasts. Then they're finding a lot of the Caribbean islands on the eastern side of Mexico, down through Central America, and then actually quite a bit of the Amazon, it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So they're 20 to 27 inches long with a 47 to 54 inch wingspan. So that's a pretty big wingspan compared to body size. And
yeah, they're huge.
But especially because their tails are so long, like, well, I mean, look at the picture right there. Look at those wings. Those are crazy. They weigh about 11 to 21 ounces, so pretty light. For as far as the Accipitriformes go, they're much lighter. You know, an eagle can weigh like 5 to 10 pounds. These guys, you know, average about 1. They do have shorter lifespans than a lot of those bigger ones, though, averaging about 6 years. You know, a few of them have been seen living up to about 15, but the average is about a 6-year life form. So. Or life form. Yeah, they are a life form. Yeah, look at those cute little babies on the bottom. These cute little babies. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, they're like little fuzzy gremlins. And how baby birds work. You got little helpless little gremlins, and then you got cute little baby chicks, and these are almost kind of like halfway in between. But perched up on the branch like that, you can see they're very... They almost kind of have... Don't you think that their head almost looks kind of like a dove head?
Yeah.
A little, yeah.
I mean, that's what was crazy looking at it. It looks like so many birds just mushed together and huge.
The head of a dove. The body of a falcon. the wings of an albatross and the tail of a swallow.
They got like itty bitty little curved beaks. It's so cool.
Yeah, very small beaks. I mean, honestly, they almost kind of look more like a falcon than a hawk. But I've seen some hawks with some pretty small little curved beaks. But, oh, those beaks, those are sharp beaks. You don't want to be bit by one of those beaks. That's the kind of beak that's designed to rip flesh apart. So these guys, they tend to nest in tall trees, and they like to do that around swamps and wetlands. In particularly trees, they like dead trees, ones that don't have too many leaves on there, but they're not super picky. They do not mate for life, but they pick at the beginning of the breeding season. They will pick a mate, and then those mating pairs will stick together through the whole season. Almost every clutch that is laid is going to be 2 eggs, but occasionally you'll see 1 or even 3. But here's the kind of brutal thing: is it's really rare. It's not very common for both chicks to reach adulthood, and one of the reasons is that the older sibling often kills the younger sibling because it's like, hey, I want to get all the food, and you're taking half of it. So I'm going to kill you so I can get all the food. And the parents are just like, aw, Billy killed Susie. Well, I guess Billy gets all the food now. That's kind of messed up.
They are birds.
They are birds.
It does happen, sadly.
Birds do bird things.
Birds do bird things. Although, I mean, sibling murder is not... it's not that common in the bird world, but I guess for birds of prey, maybe it's a little bit more. It's brutal. It's brutal.
I've seen chickens do horrifying things to their babies.
Look, we don't talk
I'll
about the
leave
things
it
that
at
chickens do. Chickens are a whole
Chickens are chickens.
fowl in general. Just yeah, we don't talk about chickens. That's chickens. Yeah. But the parents are good parents. Both parents are going to take turns incubating the chicks. So it's just like, Dad is hungry. He's going to go hunt and eat. Then he'll come back, rest on the chicks. Mom's going to go eat, and they'll switch back and forth. Although, once the babies are born, for the first couple weeks, the mother tends to stay at the nest, and then the father will go hunting, and he will bring back food for both his partner and the babies. So that's kind of nice. But then, when they get a little bit bigger, then they start switching off again. So that's kind of interesting. They've also found that for banded guys, and actually, if you look kind of real closely, the little chick on the right there, on the bottom, he's got a little band. I know it's really hard to see on the small thing, but on the bigger screen, he's got a little band on him. Well, they found that with their banded ones, that the ones that they tend to come back and start nesting and raising their own babies in the same location that they were raised. And, sometimes they move to different places, but it's very common for them to go back to where they were born. That's pretty neat. But they also tend to nest around where other ones are. So with, like, eagles and stuff, they may have, like, one nest, and it's going to be pretty isolated. But they typically find that these guys will have nests nearby each other in like adjacent trees. It's usually like one tree per nest, but they'll have like a grove of trees that could have like 5, 6, even a dozen nests in it, depending on the size of it. And then these guys are sexually mature at 1 year old. They can return to where they were on their first birthday and find their own mate and have more babies. Super cute. Now, these guys also are excellent flyers. I mean, these are some of the best flyers I've ever seen. And they spend more time in the air than on the ground. And their giant wings help them out with a lot. They don't weigh much, and they have very big wings compared to body size. So they're the kind of bird that they get up in the air, they spread their wings out, and they just soar. And they can soar for hours and hours and hours without ever flapping their wings. And so they're basically expending almost no effort. So it's like they're not having to spend a lot of, they're not flapping their wings. They're just gliding on the winds, doing their thing. It's cool. We crows can't do that. We gotta always be flapping our wings. We're not very good soarers, but They so I was saying the wings of an albatross, because albatross are another bird that famously will just go up in the air and then like fall asleep because they're not expending any effort to fly, and that sounds amazing. I wish I could do that, but I can't do that. Can you do that, Peanut?
Oh God, no! If you've ever seen cockatiels fly, it's so many panic flappies.
Panic flappies, so many panic flappies. But when they're not soaring, they don't need to rely on soaring. They're also incredible flyers in terms of acrobatics. They can do all sorts of crazy aeronautical maneuvers, twist around, fly around, do a barrel roll, all sorts of cool stuff like that. And they do that because they do almost all of their hunting in the air. They don't so much swoop things on the ground. They like to grab other flying things. Whether it be like big bugs or little birds. But they've also been seeing like there could be like another animal, like maybe there's a squirrel or something that's just like bounding across a branch, and they'll just swoop down and snag that squirrel right off the branch and never lose a beat. Just keep going and keep going. So it's pretty amazing. There are some videos on YouTube, but I wasn't able to find one that didn't have too much, dialogue talking over it or something like that. But look up YouTube videos of these guys flying around, because it's pretty cool watching them fly. They are amazing flyers.
Yeah, it's really like we
like,
didn't
Ray,
even
you
like
could've
they
sent
look
the
like, they
video.
actually do look like Kite. Like it looks so weird and ethereal how they move.
They get so close, you can see the little feet's grippy things.
They do got great little grippy feet.
Big
And
old grippers.
you may think like, oh, that sounds a little bit scary. They're vicious birds of prey. And they are, mostly. That is about 90% of their diet. But this is a rare case of an aciptriform that will also eat fruit. They will grab fruit and eat fruit. That is so rare for, like... But they do it. They've been seen doing it. It's really unusual. But most birds also are gonna, land on the ground and go up to a lake or some other body of water and lean in and take a sip. Not these guys. They're gonna skim over the surface of a body of water and just open their beak and just get a little drink. Just drink by skimming over the water in the air. Like, screw that.
A little sippy.
Little sippy. I just like the idea of one of them going down, opening up their mouth to get a little sip, but going a little too bit, and the beak just catches on the water, and then they just tumble and just crash into the water. It sounds funny, but no, that wouldn't happen. Yeah, these kites are way too good at flyers. But the other thing that's interesting about them is that they are far more communal than most birds of prey. Most birds of prey will find their mate, and that's pretty much their social life, is their mate and their children. I mean, I know some humans like that. But these ones will live in flocks pretty much year-round. Not just during breeding season, but during winter season. Like the whole year-round, they'll live in big communal groups, which is highly, highly unusual for an aciptriform. It's cool. I like it. I like this. This bird almost doesn't feel like it belongs in the same order, but genetically, that's where they are. It's just, there's so many things that are very unusual about them, and it just makes them so interesting and fascinating. It's really neat.
Heckin' built different.
Yeah.
Very different. And they're very pretty. I like the black and white coloration. Cool, cute little heads that kind of look like a dove. Now, the interesting thing is their worldwide population is stable and even growing in a lot of regions. However, their population has been seeing sharp decreases in the United States. So as a U.S. classification, they're endangered, but as a whole throughout the world, they are not. That's, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it sucks and mostly the reason they're becoming endangered in the U.S. is due to habitat loss, and it's just like, God damn it. Can we stop ruining the habitats of animals, please? Can we stop doing that? They're good birds. They need homes. Not just birds, but other animals too. Gotta preserve our ecosystems, because it sounds like you two have definitely seen these fellers and really, really liked them, and it'd be nice if future generations could do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty lucky where we're at. We're on like a solid 40 acres of land, about half of it's woods and half of it's like hayfield.
Oh, that sounds
So-
amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool to see these guys.
Yep. And well, here's a picture, an example of them living communally. We got so many of them in this picture, hanging up there in the tree. That would be such a cool sight to see.
That's literally what it looked like. We have like a couple dead trees, and that's where they were all hanging out.
Yeah, they like dead trees more than live trees. That's an interesting thing about them. But yeah, my thoughts is I really, really like these fellers, and they might have moved up into the position of my second favorite Aciptra form.
Ooh.
Sorry, none's gonna beat the osprey. When it comes to birds of prey, ain't nobody beating the osprey. I
You know
love
what?
ospreys
Valid.
so much.
That's fair.
But the swallow-tailed kite is absolutely right up at the top. If we're talking that order of birds, these guys are S tier. Absolutely, absolutely. They're amazing. I just think it's so funny that we have a bird that is literally got a different type of bird in its name. Well, it wouldn't be the first one. We had the hawk owl, which is an owl and not a hawk. First word's the descriptor, but yeah, don't have too much else to say. That awesome bird, sweet bird. I hope to maybe see some in the wild someday because I want to see those acrobatics. That just sounds so awesome.
I don't think we saw too many acrobatics. We just saw them swooping.
Yeah.
He's acrobatic.
It's true.
Swoop is the name of the Philadelphia Eagles mascot.
Oh my
Oh, really?
Swooping. Yeah.
Perfect.
He's a great mascot, but of course he's in Philadelphia, so he's third tier behind the two greatest sports mascots of all time, the Philly Fanatic and Gritty. We stand Gritty.
Stand Gritty, we love
That's
him.
fair. I do like greedy.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't have much else to say. Any of you two got any closing thoughts on the kite or the swallow-tailed kite?
That one right in the middle is so poofy. I
I'm
want to
just waiting
poke
for them
it.
to show back up again.
I know.
All right. Well, we're going to call this bird of the day done, and we're going to get ourselves back on over to the studio.